Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream here on the Twitch.tv / the Xisuma, where currently it's a heat wave here in the UK, so I'm streaming extra early to try and avoid being in this room, the hottest room in my house. That's where I've put my computer set up. Such smart decisions I've made. Yeah, hoping to avoid the worst of the heat. It's actually not too bad in this room right now. I'm sure by the end of the stream it's going to be cooking. The Can of Heaven, Digital Chaos. Shah Slab, welcome to the stream. Just done with cooking. Perfect timing. Awesome. I planned it. I planned it just for you. Trust. Right, let's head on down. I know exactly what we're doing. We're working on the Nether hub because I ran out of time to get my episode out on time. And now we're on borrowed time. Like, any time I have to work on the Nether hub now is a bonus. So today was a stream day. Next stream day will probably be Wednesday, maybe Friday as well. And then after that, who knows? These are not my Nether supplies, are they? I think I left them in the Nether. For those of you that watched the last live stream, by the way, I've almost finished working on the Daft Punk thing. I'm just doing some compacting, and then that'll be ready to build on the server. How's my personal sauna room? Yeah, it's surprisingly okay at the moment. I don't expect it to last long. Here's what I've been thinking, people. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we should rebuild this. So the tinted glass is like one block higher up. So we'll leave this section as is and we'll go do a different one differently. That almost sounded like I misspoke, but no, that's... do a different one differently, that's correct. Right, so somewhere down here in this little labyrinth we should have supplies. By the way, I haven't had a cup of tea for 2 days because it's been really hot. And I've got one in front of me. And I almost can't be bothered to drink it. It is amazing how the hot weather can sap your appetite for tea. I bet once I have a sip, I'm just going to be like, oh no, it's amazing. I'm silly goose. I should have been drinking tea yesterday. 2 days. It might have been years, decades, since I went a day, well, 2 days without drinking tea. We got Pancake19 coming in. Thank you so much for your 14 months. Pharaoh at YX, thank you for 6. Appreciate it. Thank you for the amazing support. You accidentally missed the past 2 streams, so you're glad to be here. Welcome back. The Can Heaven says no tea for a Brit. Yeah, I know, right? 2 days. 2 days in a row, no tea. Yesterday I did have a cold. Was it cold? I had a matcha. I had a latte matcha. It wasn't. I don't think it was cold. It was just so hot yesterday that I didn't really notice. If that makes any sense. I think I need some more obsidian, and I already have some. Okay. So on this side we're going to try a different layout, basically. That involves modifying all of this up here. So yeah, you're in the midst of your GCSEs and you don't want to revise, it's so warm. I know what it's like, but man, GCSEs are important. You know you gotta do it. Gotta do a little bit of the suck if you want to get ahead. Wow, oh my god, that sounded so terrible. Sometimes, let me rephrase, sometimes you gotta do things that suck in life to get your rewards later. Okay? Okay, let's forget how I was going to word that sentence. It was, you know, not thought out previously. I just have a saying to myself of like, put up with the suck, right? So every now and then it's like, you know, it's hot, but you got to do your run. You got to get in your workout, whatever it is. You got to put up with the suck, right? And that attitude gets me through it. That's how I remind myself that it's good to be able to tolerate that stuff somewhat in life, because it's always gonna creep up on you. There's always gonna be something tough and difficult. So like, choose to do the difficult, and then it'll feel less difficult because you're used to doing it. Am I making any sense? Oh my god, I feel like I might be talking myself into a hole today. You know, what was it, like 2 days of hot weather and now I can't talk. I've lost the ability to stream. Hey, go on! Thank you so much for 3 months. Thanks for using the locator heads. Oh, I know the name now. I know the name. Thanks for making the mod, my dude. Awesome mod. Awesome mod. We love it. We love it. It's pretty darn cool. Alright, so the glass being up at this height, not a problem here. I didn't actually check all sides. On one side, it makes more work. On this side over here, I think you get away with it as well. The last thing I want to do is, like, really disrupt someone else's stuff, right? So I think we might not actually put diorite around the edge here. I'm not sure what we'll put around the edge. Like, I had an instinct to put some stone there, but that'll actually cover up what we're doing, which we don't want to do. We don't want to cover it up, and I've lost a piece of tinted glass. What's the betting it's like behind here somewhere? Well, there's some stuff back here. I'm not sure if it's tinted glass or not. We should be able to recover it because it hasn't been that long, has it? See? There it is. Okay, that's that taken care of. I think I'm just going to build one whole module, and then that gives us something to, like, work with. Let's grab some of those, grab some of these. Definitely going to use a little bit of cheaty free cam today as well. Alright, Callie's here. Thank you so much for 110 streams. 110? Oh, slow your roll. What? That's crazy. I can't even remember what I was doing 110 streams ago. Shawslap, thank you for 45 streams. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, so we have like a repeater and then an observer, and that's kind of how I remembered it. So we good on that front. We good on that front. Here's what I'm thinking. Probably a good time to have a cup of tea. Oh, it goes a little bit lower here for some reason. Sounded like a right old little grunt. So yeah, we transmit the redstone signal to there, and then we have an observer. However, not sure I think it might be best just to place the observer last. You gotta think about when you actually place this thing, believe it or not. Expelled Winter, thank you so much. 18 months, appreciate you, my dude. Actually, it says 19. It says 19 months, you know. Twitch always gives me 2 numbers. Always gives me 2. Right, so we had a little extra redstone here. Go back down. Go up the other side. 110 streams ago was probably Derp and Waffles. When is it not Derp and Waffles? Waffles. Feel like Homer Simpson. Yeah, alright, we're going to need some more stone bricks in the inventory. I guess I'll make a few here. And what's the other thing that I want? Can't remember. Same thing over here. And then in go the observers. Yeah. Oh, they're probably... I was going to say, they're probably awkward to place here, but maybe not. Oh, I should have known. Everything's got to go up a block. Duh. We're raising everything. Oh my goodness me, it's dangerous down there. I think I might leave this platform in place and just build another one on top of it. Bear in chat says, hello gamers, welcome Bear. I'm avoiding a cup of tea that's in front of me. I can't believe it. I'm going to stop in a second. I just got to place one more block. See what I mean? Like, I could stop already, but I haven't. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like I'm hooked on placing blocks. There we go. Alright, I'll drink this tea. I'll find out if it's okay to drink tea in the hot weather. I gotta say, it doesn't hit the same way as when it's cold. No wonder I haven't been feeling like having much tea. Bonksy says, X, it is blasphemous to let the tea get cold. The tea ain't cold. The tea's really hot. It's that hot over here. It's not going to get cold. Don't worry about it. It's like that today. Do we have some of the full blocks as well? Yeah, I need a little bit of everything on your inventory, really. Alright, let's do what we were doing a second ago, I guess. You've been letting your tea get cold, it's great. If you like cold tea, it is, yeah. Maybe I'd like cold tea in this weather, you know? Maybe that's the trick I'm missing. What are we doing today? Upgrading the Nether hub, my dude. You should make iced tea and see if it hits the same way. I don't think I would, because iced tea is usually very sugary and I don't drink sugar, so... Except for yesterday, I had some cow piss yesterday. That was very sugary. After I was like, I didn't really need to drink that. I think it's like a try once kind of drink. And, you know, I've had my fair share of cow piss, so... I think I'll be alright next time I see some. Cow piss, yeah, Alani. Cow piss. You know. Comes from a cow. Is that a UK thing? No, it's a Japan thing. I wasn't in Japan yesterday, but I did eat Japanese. And I had myself some takoyaki again. Love takoyaki. That being said, now that I know where to find it, I'll probably have it too often and get bored of it. But takoyaki's awesome. Alex Sweep knows what's up. Sounds like cow piss. No, cow piss. God, use your ears. Unsweet iced tea is a thing, X, is Winnie T. Ford. Yeah, I've got a feeling I won't like it, though. I might have tried it once or something, but I guess it's worth a try. It's just... I don't see it whenever I go out to the shops or whatever. When I see iced tea, it's always that super sweet, sugary stuff. I'll have a look for some next time, maybe. What is up with y'all? You heard cow piss as well. That's not what I've been saying at all. I've been saying the name of a drink. Excuse me. Rude. Oh yeah, all of these blocks are now no longer necessary, so we'll rip those out, I guess. You can drink cow piss, to be honest, says Enderdan. You can. Don't recommend it. Rocktex says you could use honey as well. Well, if you use honey, you're just putting sugar back in, aren't you? So... I know honey's probably a far better source than all that refined stuff, but... For me, it's like trying to avoid the sweetness in general. Right, so when we get to this level here... Like, how long is this going to take me, by the way? We're at 15... Approaching 15 minutes. Like, if I can get into a rhythm and a groove of doing this, we might be able to get it done by the end of today's stream. But I'll be frank, I'm not holding out much hope for that. Now, where... Ah, I see. It's like that. If I want more maps, I gotta make them. Okay, there we go. If you want something in this life, you gotta make it. Okay, I guess we should probably make more. And very quickly, something has happened to my inventory again. I wonder why that is, Mojang. This is how could this possibly be a broken system? Do you think the Hermits should do, instead of a charity stream, do you think we should do like an inventory stream where we spend the entire time trying to raise awareness for Minecraft's inventory problems? I'll tell you what, I'm actually enjoying this tea. That's quite nice. It's too hot in the UK. Yeah, it's going to be a cooker. It's going to cook today. Make a documentary about it. It could deserve that, I reckon. Oh, and then it's not just this. Oh my god, yeah. There's no way we're getting this done today. Not with this inventory. Not in this economy. Let's get ourselves an axe, because we also got to do more work to place these blocks. It's going to go back down to 20 next week, thank God. Yeah, I'm ready to enjoy some hot weather. And I got to yesterday. I always talk about wanting to travel and see places and stuff. And this summer, I just really feel it. Even more. I feel it every summer. It's like this time of year comes around and then it goes by and I feel like I didn't do enough. So yesterday I went with a friend down to Brighton for the day and it was awesome. And it gave me that boost of being like, yeah, you just need to look at a spot on the map and go sometimes, right? And I feel like this year will be that year where I'm like going to have lots of adventures and stuff. I'm already figuring out when the next ones are, right? But I've got like 2 to 3 weeks of like commitments and busy stuff that means I can't exactly do whatever I want. But after that's over, X's gonna go travel around the UK a little bit, I think. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go some places. See some things. You did that yesterday. Spontaneous day trip, loves it so much. Did you do the spontaneous day trip or did you go to Brighton? Those are my favourite holidays in the UK, where we just leave and decide where we want to go on the way. That's crazy, that is. I didn't do it quite like that. Like, I had already looked at going to Brighton and what to do there. I mean, we didn't really do much. We just, as my mate said, potted about. Like, we just went to, like, walk up and down the coast and then sit and have a cup of tea, get some fish and chips. Like, it was to enjoy the weather and where you were at. And I really liked that. That was very... just... I don't want to use the word spiritual, you know? I feel like it implies a lot. But, like, good for your soul. It's just a good day for your soul. That's the way to put it. You're going to London on Thursday. Awesome. I hope you have a good time. London's great. I keep seeing the pop-up for tunnel rats in the Minecraft marketplace. What is that? Rags! Rags! Don't go to the Minecraft marketplace and search for tunnel rats. You won't get the answer. That won't give you the answer to your question. No. 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 Don't do that. There's no way you'll find out what it is if you do that. I'm not sure if I read the last noise in the ear. It was 3 minutes ago. I feel like I haven't. I feel like I might have not read the one before that as well. So, Expelled Winter, thank you for 19 months. Proken Eye, thank you ever so much for 4 months. Thanks for the Monday morning work distraction. You're welcome, you're welcome. Yo, just got some classic Trollsuma up in here. Ask stupid questions, get stupid answers. I apologize for the rudeness of that, but I also don't apologize because, you know, the answer is in your question. To be fair, if you said like, what's a Google search? I'd be like, okay, you could be forgiven. You could be forgiven because I can't tell you to go search. Go to your library, man. What's a Google search? Got a question? Go to the library, mate. Go to your local library. What are they there for? Answering questions? No. That's just the place they keep the books with all the answers in that you're allowed to go look at. Yeah, that's what that is. What is the internet? Before I started this stream, I watched Casey Neistat's latest video. I really like his videos. They're like some classic old school YouTube kind of vibes. Anyway, there's an interview with Christopher Nolan, and I didn't know this, although I probably did, because I live in a world of perpetual distractions that is ruining my memory. But he doesn't... Not only does he, like, not use social media, he doesn't have a smartphone. He doesn't even, like, have email, and has basically not used computers. Like, has just completely avoided that, and lives like it's, you know, the late 80s. And that's his his world, and he loves it. And I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, I like that too. I want to be more like that. I want to get more back to that way. It felt different. I got to experience some of it pre-internet in my childhood. Easy to do when you have an army of assistants. I think that's a little like sort of presumptuous. Like, it probably is easier to do with assistants and stuff, but like it doesn't mean you have to have assistants to live that way. Like, being disconnected from something that everyone else is using is like your choice. And people often cite the feeling of being disconnected as like part of the problem. Whereas you can choose, and he obviously chooses to, right? What's a good movie I've seen recently? On Friday, I went and saw the Michael Jackson movie. I was actually going to go watch a different movie, and then I realized that I had the times wrong, and I wouldn't be able to go to the other one. And so I thought about it, and I was like, I could go watch the new Star Wars movie. Do I want to watch it? Maybe not. It'll be on streaming at some point, so I might watch it then. I might not. I figured, yeah, let's go see the Michael Jackson movie then. And I saw it and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. Even when we push it up to this level, it's like still a bit of effort to notice it's there and see it. That's so frustrating. It's kind of like a little bit of an oversight of where this has been put, is that it's not particularly visible. I think I might just leave things where they are, because you basically have to make an effort to see it anyway. Also, that one has shifted somehow and flipped. Ah, so's that one. They both flipped. How would we fix that? There should be a relatively easy way to fix it as it goes. There you go. Oh, but are we on a chunk boundary? Oh my! Oh, there's so many ways in which this system can break and go wrong. Oh, that's a different kind of lame, that is. That's a different kind of lame. Do you know, I've talked about this thing called the sunk cost fallacy. And as of right now, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, there isn't really a way to fix that, is there? Unless you don't use bulbs. Enderdan says ditch the bulbs. Yeah, oh my god, look at how much effort this is gonna take. Like, now in order to test it without bulbs, I got to rebuild a lot of stuff. Like, we're potentially back to square one again. One good thing is that we can do the redstone lamps at scale. That's not an issue. I'm pretty sure they need 2 ticks to work, right? So let's go ahead and set up a little test right here. I guess these are in the way of where I'd normally stand to place that. Oh, actually, yeah, no, it's not that they need 2 ticks, it's that they stay on for 2 ticks or something like that. Are we doubling up our signal here? That would mean we would only want to power that once. Am I thinking there's a way to... No, this doesn't do what I want. I would need more redstone here to do what I want. I got to admit, the sounds they make are cool. All right, so with that, we change... No, we still get 2 pulses. My bad. Still get 2 pulses. Still get 2 pulses. That really looks like just 1 blink. Oh, I think I know why it gets 2. I think you need to do that because there's a signal strength update. Yeah, now we get 1. Okay, so now we have the lamps running on smallest possible whatever. Smallest possible whatever we're going to call that. All right, so the system that we've built above it will work the same with lamps. Yeah, so we just need lamps. Let's go make lamps and then give it a shot. KKKKK. We got Power Buzz. Oh, slab. Almost despawned. Power Buzz in the chat. 7 streams in a row. Thank you so much. Woohoo for no computers. Yeah, it really got me thinking. How many moments in your day do you scroll? I went to the toilet before doing this stream, which now you're like, oh X, thank you for telling me. I'm thinking about you on the toilet. Oh, how pleasant. Go on, put in your little comments. God, you do it as well. Treating me like that, like you've never been to the toilet. Jeez. So I scroll on my phone, and then I was reminded of that Christopher Nolan thing, and I was like, this is it. This is like, these are these little moments that you think you're filling up by scrolling social media, which for me is YouTube. I think I treated YouTube differently in my mind, and I've done myself a disservice there because I think I need to treat it like scrolling on YouTube is like, you know, scrolling on any other platform. And immediately my mind is now going into lots of different places because I'm analyzing each little thing that pops up. And if I add something to my watch later playlist, it's like I'm making some mental space for this thing. And it wasn't something I thought of. It wasn't something I went out of my way to find and think about. And if I think about in the past where something would interest you and you would go out of your way to learn about it, that was, in my experience, a way more gratifying thing to do than to have something recommended to you. And I'm seeing now how little moments like that, when you start to treat them as filler, that filler then takes over more of your focus and more of your life. And that's the thing I've struggled to break. It's like I've seen the spell but kind of not really applied it to the thing that I use YouTube. I kind of tell myself, oh, it's different. But maybe if I tell myself it's the same and run an experiment, I'll see that, oh yeah, this is like getting in the way. This is like distracting me. This is why I can't like focus on stuff. So then I thought back to like what part of the day was the best so far where I focused on something, and it was when I was doing my music studies. That was like the first moment of the day where I was properly engaged and focused with something, and it wasn't about scrolling, it was about like learning. And I want to stay in that kind of space for longer. And I think the way to do it is to not be in the YouTube space. So I am going to, as always, I'm always trying. Feels like I'm always having a little revelation, but hopefully at some point I'll figure it out and cross the line and really kick the YouTube habit, let's say. Got to get the magazines back in the bathroom, Sister Canahaven. Maybe. That's interesting. Yeah, you used to read a magazine or something on the loo, didn't you? Like, that's like such a milder version of the same thing, though. But usually magazines are like focused interests and whatnot, so it's almost like where social media has like heightened certain stuff. You can go back and look at things and sort of think it was sort of like that already. Have we got a loop? How would we have a loop? Do we have a loop over there? Ah, that's okay, yeah. There we go. There we go. And we still have something else strange going on. Oh. Now you need a block between them. So now I have to lower this down. Oh. Painful. Painful. Oh, whatever. Back to square one again, basically. At least I don't have to replace all of those maps, although getting these observers in might be tricky. Okay, let's put some blocks here. Back to square one, people. We are not on track for a productive stream. Oh, well, I should have known, should have known. Used to play Tetris going on the potty. Yeah. It's not bad to do something, right? Like, I have in the past sat down on the toilet and done my music studies. Maybe I should just leave music-related material there for me, right? Like, I had this real impetus to get a book for music studies because there were just concepts that I wanted to, like, look at over and over again until they started to make sense. And I didn't like the idea of trying to... you know, watch a YouTube video about it or something. Like, I just wanted a book, and to keep it plain and simple, and like create the story around what I'm learning in my own head. Oh well, he figured it out before building the whole thing. That's a win in my books, says Callie. Usually I build the whole thing and then I'm like, oh my god, this one tiny thing is wrong, and now I have to rebuild it top to bottom. I expected that to happen too, but somehow it didn't. I think right now it makes sense to put in all the repeaters before we close too much of this off. A book sounds like a good idea. Sometimes it's easier to learn by reading it for me, says Dev. Dev, you said something in one of my streams a long time ago that stuck with me. And I kept thinking about over and over again, because I had the same problem when making music. And I've actually overcome that problem, and I've been waiting for you to turn up in my stream so I can share it with you. Anyway, now that I have your curiosity... Oh my god, look, X gets distracted by something and completely forgets what he was talking about. Would be the most typical thing to happen right now. No, I'm not going to do that. That being said, do I still need this over here? I think I do. I'm trolling. Anyway, let's see you there in chat. I want to see that you're still there, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. I'll tell you exactly what I've learned. Do you know what the thing is, though? That's another question for you. Like, does it ring a bell? What do I think about the Chaos Cubed update coming out? I think it's going to come out, man. I'm excited for it. I'm actually really excited for that update. It does ring many bells. So you were saying, like, I go into, I don't know if you use Fruity Loops, but, I go into my DAW, I goof around, I get a bunch of instruments, I make a little beat, and then after that, it's like you don't know what to do. Like, you struggle to make the little looping beat feels like it goes somewhere else. And that's what I've done time and time again. I've got some projects that every time I open up and try and work on them, it's just like, I don't know where to go from here. Okay? And let me tell you this. Learning music theory and learning the composing side of it and learning how chords are built out of keys and how they relate to one another and how you can use things like inversions. So, like, there's probably, like, one person in the stream right now that is, like, nodding, going, yes, I understand. I did music theory. This makes sense. Like, it probably just sounds like nonsense, but until you learn it, then, oh my god, it all opens up, because you will write something and it will have a key and a chords related to that key, whether you realize it or not. And once you understand what that is, you learn about the relationships it has to other chords and keys. And now I'm going back to, like, these old beats where it's just like one thing, and I figure out what key it's in, I figure out what chords I used, and immediately I now have pathways to move the song's feeling and emotion and progress it, basically. Dev says, right now it feels like I'm making the steak, but I don't know how to season it or make a dressing or add some salad to it. The quote you used at the time was basically, like not verbatim what I said, but pretty much in the spirit of that as I remember. It was just like, I make a beat, it sounds alright, and then you're just like, I don't know how to make it into anything else, like how to move it forward. That's my answer for that question, is like, once you learn the theory of chords and keys and how they relate to one another and how certain parts of this, I don't know, it's like, it's weird because it feels sort of like you're reading a set of rules, but you're not. They're just these like tendencies in music that emerge, and they might emerge purely because we've trained ourselves to like listen to music in this particular structure, or there might be some deeper reasoning to it, but it really exists. It really is there, and once you start messing around with it and learning and understanding it, then you see how to use chords and other things related to melody and notes to like move your music in a direction. But you have to learn that to use it. Otherwise like, you're gonna make that beat, it's gonna sound cool, but you're gonna have no idea how to like move it to the next point because you don't have that understanding of why your song sounds the way it does to begin with. Anyway, what I said like probably won't be like an aha, now I'll go back to my beats and it'll all make sense. Like, now it's like you have to learn a lot of stuff first, but it's totally worth learning. I love learning all this stuff. I really like that, but I kind of again just feel like it might not be in the right place. Here's another thought. Like, do we even need tinted glass? Because if the light level, look at that. Okay, this, now the light level of the lights influences what's around here. I almost feel like stripping out the tinted glass and raising it up another block might be the way to go. Or leave the tinted glass where it is, put the maps on top, and then you might even be able to construct a cheaper type of thing below here. Do we by any chance also cheapen the look of this? With this, just all of a sudden you have like magenta floor. Wait a minute, if we've got tinted glass below, the light's not going to come through. I was sort of thinking you can leave it there and then use the light below, but no, tinted glass doesn't let the light through. I really got to hit that learning for sure. Been meaning to do it proper. Recently made a little tune, but it was so tricky to avoid it sounding bland. Dev, I'll send you some stuff, or poke me and that'll remind me. Poke me on Discord and I'll send you something. I'll send you a couple of things. Basically the same stuff I've been learning. And here's the thing, like, the way I found my way into music theory might not work for you. I think it's one of those things where you just got to keep plugging away and trying this, trying that. Look, you got to actively look and try until something clicks. And when things start to click, then you follow it. And it's funny because for me, like, these clicks would happen, but then I would go back to watching something I tried before, and now it's like these gaps were filled in, and I can follow this better now. And I've actually just been constantly going back and forth and rereading stuff to like really trying to drill it in a lot more. Chat, what do y'all think about this? Like, I think this is really quite nice, and raising this up one block might be the way to go, which would put it there at that level. But then this looks a little bit on the naff side. I think the fact that it's animated is really what's bringing it some life. I also reckon we'll change the animation pattern. I really, I didn't really give myself a lot of space to be creative with this project. Like, there's so many different ways you could bounce the light here. And I think I've just thought of like another way to do it, which could be quite cool. Which is just to send it from like, maybe like there and back again. Could be interesting. Yeah. All right. Let's think a little bit before this next experiment. Like, if we replaced all of the glass with a different color glass. I've set everything up like this, so I could actually just keep the lamps at the same height, which would be there. Yeah, so I could do it that way around. If I tried to do the lighting across the back, it would get separated. So I could do one lighting strip through the middle, like that. And then how would I make it go back and forth? Probably quite easily. Yeah, I think I can make the lighting strip go back and forth easily. And I think then we also don't worry about making this super airtight and stuff. Like, that we just let whatever lights in here do its thing. Okay, I think we'll try that next. I need to go repair my pick, and I need to craft some glass. It doesn't need to be black glass, actually. It can be any shaded glass. So we'll do those two things next, and then head back. Repair pick, get glass. Oh, and we could leave this the same. Okay, so we're going to use... Note to self, use the strip of glass at the front, and then it'll always be the same on all sides. They have mail? I want mail. I'm joking. I don't want mail. I like my mail 3 tunnel. It's another pointless distraction. What are they going to add next? An infinite scroll feed? Yo, Gamer Chat, thank you so much for using your Amazon Prime subscription on me. I appreciate it. For some reason, that reminded me I had a cup of tea, and I looked at it, and I was like, I actually drunk all of that. Wait, is this the portal to the end dimension? Is this... Peeps, do you think this might be the portal to the end dimension? Actually, do you know what? I don't think it is. But we'll walk through it anyway. Cross our fingers. I don't think this will take us to the end dimension. Nope, I was right. It takes us to somewhere in the overworld where there's a stronghold portal. Yeah. Bit deceptive, that. Bit deceptive. Okay, that portal didn't take me to the... I'm going to write a letter of complaint. It didn't take me to the end dimension. It didn't take me to an end city. That's for sure. I ended up in a stronghold. Also, is that new? Kind of looks new. Am I going to send the letter by mail? I don't know how it works here in the Nether on Hermitcraft. It's a whole new thing. It's a whole new thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wang. How you doing, Autumn, anyway? Welcome to the stream. Wainbow's here as well. The signs are you infinite scroll feed. I guess they could be, yeah. Jevin did it last week. Cool, cool. Everyone's saying hey to Autumn. Let's all say hey to Autumn. Let's just say happy birthday to Autumn as well. Happy birthday, dude. You know, we used to do that to oh my god, my brain is so slow. I hate it. Phenoman. I had Fenric in my head, and I was like, it's not Fenric. We used to do that to Phenoman. Anytime Phenoman would turn up, we'd be like, happy birthday. Yeah, I haven't seen Fenno in a long time. I hope Fenno's doing cool. Doing well. The attention is going to his head. Next thing on LPMT, we'll just have a giant autumn statue with its foot on top of the pyramid, like in Futurama. Remember me. This is... Oh, man. I so want to change. I so want to change. I was hanging out with my mate yesterday, and we were, like, referencing some stuff that we had listened to. But, like, I couldn't remember any of the lyrics of it. And do you know why I can remember... I think I can remember stuff like Futurama so well. It's because I didn't watch it once. I watched it a whole bunch of times. I watched it with friends. You watched it over and over again. I've seen The Office... I've seen the UK Office at least 10, 12 times. I've seen the American Office about 20 or 50 times. I don't know. But, like, that's how you really love stuff. And this constant, like, influx of something new to fill that time while you're on the toilet or that time while you're traveling and you're looking at your phone. Like, when you start to fill up All these little bits of time with just stuff that gets thrown away. It's pointless. There's a UK office. Don't you even. Don't you even. It's the original, and it's an absolute masterpiece of comedy. You should totally watch it if you've never seen it. Is it me, or is there like a hole there? Oh, that's for the chest. There used to be a worker in here, and that worker wandered off. Never to be seen again. I also need glass, don't I? Yeah, just remembering that Futurama thing just made me realize, like, none of this new stuff gets in anymore because I just watch one thing, watch the next, watch another thing, watch another thing. It's like, when you love something, watch it over and over again. You know what? I'm going to go after I finish watching the new season of Jury Duty and watch the first season again because I love this show. Has anyone here seen Jury Duty? It's on Amazon Prime. If you like The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff like that, this will be absolutely your cup of tea, I think. Never actually seen Futurama. One of my friends says I'm missing out. It's a great show. It's worth giving a go. A lot of stuff, though, can be a bit of its time, right? And I feel like if you gave it a go and maybe it wasn't quite for you, fair enough. But, like, when that show was around, I mean, even to this day, I love it when an episode of Futurama comes on. It's just great. I've seen other people see Jury Duty. You've not seen it yourself. Anyone else? I'll give y'all a minute. Do we have anyone in chat who's actually seen it? I'll tell y'all what it's about. I'm just curious. You got any fans of the show? Yeah. I require more plants. Isn't that a Futurama line? I don't know. Bonksy's seen it. The capital letters is a big sign of enthusiasm right there. Sounds like a show Rainbow will watch. Or if Rainbow likes Parks and Recs and The Office and that kind of stuff, I couldn't recommend the show enough. Got lunches? Yes, it was very good. It was, wasn't it? You got confused about what the second season is actually about. Well, they're not doing the Jury Duty format again, right? It's now a company retreat. So the format is that they get the person to come on a company retreat with everyone, as opposed to like sequestering them in a jury. You've seen Jury Duty? It was lovely. Baitan Daniel's seen it too. Have I watched Community? It's so underrated. I've seen a few episodes of it, and I never really got pulled into it. Doesn't it have Donald Glover in it? I remember like really enjoying some jokes on that, but just like never quite getting into it. My thing is gonna be now, I think, just to keep rewatching stuff that I love and let that inspire me more. But yeah, so Jury Duty is, imagine this, like everyone here has seen the American Office, right? Like, and if you haven't, you know, please leave. The American Office is so great. It's so brilliant. It's so wonderful. Imagine that one of the characters is actually a normal average person who is there in the office with all the actors and doesn't realize that they're actors. Imagine that, like, you know, one of the group is just a normal human being like you and I, and they're just a part of the show. That's what Jury Duty is, okay? They fish a member of the public. They do it in the right way. I think they contact the family and get consent and stuff like that. They try and figure out, is this the right person to do this on? Because, I mean, you can imagine how if you do this with the wrong, if you do this with like the wrong attitude or approach, you could cross some really dubious ethical lines. But I think the way they do it in the show, really well handled. So they bring a member of the public in to be a part of a jury duty, and the jury is being filmed, like, and they do it in a way where it makes that member of the public just think, oh, you know, I've turned up for jury duty, and they're doing a thing where they're filming it as well, and I'll sign the consent form, all this kind of stuff. And then the first thing that happens on the first day of jury is that the judge gives them an order to sequester them. So now all of the jury have to spend their time together, and they're not allowed access to their smartphones and stuff. And so now all the actors that are part of the jury can create all these incredible, interesting, funny scenarios around a real person. And it creates that thing of like, it's the office, but there's a real person in the middle of it. You've probably watched shows like that and thought, this is funny, this is great, but like, you know, a real person wouldn't fall for this or whatever. And it's almost like you get to now see that. You get to see what happens if a regular person is just in the middle of this TV show that you like. And it's so good. Like, both seasons, I think, really show you how, like, the average person is, on many levels, genuinely just like a good person. Although you've only got a case study of 2 so far, I just think like the amount of like setup and effort they had to put in to get this thing to where they could try this on 2 different people, and both of them turned out to be like just great people, you know, because they'll get people to do some real goofy stuff. And like when you see the reactions of these other people, they're really like supportive and encouraging most of the time. And maybe more people are like that, and I've just seen a bit too much of the other side of it. But I feel like people can be like really judgmental of us, like cringe, right? To me, if anything's cringy, it's probably cringe itself. Like if you're cringing at someone else's behavior, I'm like, hey, we're only human. Like, we all do stuff that's a bit awkward and silly at times. Like, there's no need to, like, get upset about someone else, you know, having a moment or whatever. Dev says, I'll give it a go. I love seeing real reactions. I think you'll love it, especially, like, if you do love seeing real reactions, the great thing is, like, a lot of it is humble. It's, like, it's really, like, just reminding you of how, like, most people are pretty good and decent to each other, right? And so you see, like, people kind of behaving badly or being extraordinarily goofy or awkward, and you don't get that reaction that I think you see when people are like sheltered from one another, like when they're online, and you realize that like there's a lot of tolerance for people as well. It's really great. I can't recommend it enough. I'm just absolutely loving this 2nd season of it. I'm like, this is a show I'm gonna follow. Some of the moments of the 1st season are starting to pop into my head now as well, that I think about it, and I'm like, yeah, this is a show you should like enjoy and rewatch. Leon Eats You, thank you so much for a 20 stream streak. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for continuing to tune in. You enjoy shows like The Taskmaster and things like that. Even if they're comedians, their reactions to the silliest stuff is just golden. This is the thing, though. Like, you're going to see, like, a real person's reaction to the jokes. And it's so good because, like, sometimes the joke is, like, trying to make someone look like a buffoon. But the guy in the latest season, he leans into it. He's supportive of other people and, like, whatever they want to be. And I really, like, tried to strive to be more like that. I feel like I've always had that in me. I've always had like a streak of compassion, but like when I was younger, I was just getting pulled in different directions. I was getting pulled in the direction of like judging people and having like, I don't know, opinions about what other people should like and stuff like that. You know, being an elitist with music, for example. And it's been a long journey for me, like many years, I would say, since I actually continued to think like that. But yeah, I feel like I've seen that other side of it, and I know that people can be that way. They can be very judgmental and harsh, and I just don't have that anymore. You like Doctor Who with the science fiction, also fish fingers and custard. But not fish fingers with custard, right? That would be... Let me judge you for a second and tell you that would be weird. Oh, that'd be so cringe, man. Oh, cringy. Like, if you legitimately liked custard and fish fingers, you do you, man. Like, I wish I liked that, so if ever fish fingers fell into my bowl of custard, I'd be happy. You know what I mean? That's what I'm on about, just, like, relinquishing all this judgment between one another. Just, whatever. I used to be around a lot of that, you know, and it rubbed off on me. Powerboss, thank you for gifting a sub to Hacking. To Hacking, be sure to say thanks in the chat. If you are interested in joining the Let's Play Minecraft Together community, having a subscription here gives you access to it. Ask in the chat, they'll point you in the right direction. That's a Discord server, that's a Minecraft server. All the servers, there's only 2. Doctor Who, my beloved, fish fingers with custard was my first lactose food when I finally got rid of my allergy. How did you get rid of your allergy? Because isn't lactose intolerance a tolerance thing as well? Like if you learn to tolerate it, do you know what I mean? Like exposure to it helps you overcome it, that kind of thing. Not that I know, like I really don't know much about it. I would suspect that would be what it is. I feel like I've heard something about it at some point. Okay, now we gotta get in that thing. The timing will need to be different on this one. So we've got to get that timing so it starts again. Oh, it looks so cool then as well. And chunk errors won't break it. Okay, let's go change the timing of the clock. I think we found what we want to do. So in here, I can just be like, boop. Oh, and now I've got junk all over the place. Let's look at it down at this level quickly. Yeah, okay, that needs like at least 2 more back in. Maybe a 3rd. Oh, it looks like almost perfect. You see how it stays with 2 at the end? I wonder if we finagle the redstone back there and then we get what we want. Woo. Okay, let's actually read chat. I ask questions, I should get the reply. Will I do another LPMT tour today? Yeah, sure. We've got time for that. Exposure. A lot of exposure. Kept getting injected to avoid dying. Wow. You had full-blown allergy with anaphylactic shocks and stuff. Got rid of it when I was around 16. Dang, that sounds like some die-hard stuff. Like, was it like you had such a severe reaction that they were like, we've got to get this dude like fixed up? Because that sounds like serious. I was thinking, you know, just have a little bit of milk every day, like, and slowly increase the amount. I feel like I should say none of this is professional. I'm not suggesting anything at all. Go seek a medical professional helper if you have the intolerance of the lactose. See, now it goes to 1 on that side and 2 on the other. It's like you want slightly more delay, but I have a feeling that when we add slightly more delay here, it won't be the right amount. So I'm going to put 1 in, and like, fingers crossed this somehow is the right amount. Now it blinks. I don't think we can get around that. We would have to... Wait. Did it just change? No, it didn't. Possibly signal length. Yeah, okay. This then moves it into a different territory again. No, that didn't actually help. I thought that would make a difference. Now we get a longer streak. It's possible there might be some arrangement of something here that does what we want. I mean, what if we change these to 2 ticks? Then it goes across It going across slower might not be the worst thing ever. If I made it a 3-tick pulse that came into here, we might get a more balanced and controlled... Oh, of course it would change when it comes back, yeah. So, it might be we can get the timing correct as is. I wouldn't bank on it, but I'm going to try. We're basically going to have to do a lot of trial and error here to get something we're really happy with. And that's okay. I think I'm going to take a moment to read chat because I'm getting a little bit sucked into the challenge at hand here. We're going to make one more change, which is to put some timer back on the timer. The LPMT base coordinates in the Discord from Bear. Thank you. Don't think I ever visited that one. Let's check. Doesn't quite ring a bell, but the name George does, so maybe. I don't know. We do revisits. Let's go ahead and put the... Well, we're back to the original timing now, aren't we? Oh, Powerbots, you did it with almonds. You love them, but you're allergic. Now you can eat a Hershey's with almonds. Nice. Yeah, I've talked about my own allergies before, and I don't do any kind of like tolerance threshold stuff. I just stay away from what I can't eat. Fortunately, I can eat almonds. Speaking of nuts, these nuts. Oh god, I hate that joke. Please, no one clip that. I said that in the way that someone says it when they're like, "Oh god, I hate it when I hear that joke." Yeah, I had pistachio ice cream yesterday. Now, whenever you're like given a choice of ice cream, right? My favorite will always be chocolate ice cream, but I also want to be adventurous. There's flavors I know that aren't particularly interesting, and there's flavors that are, you know, known to be awesome, like chocolate. But you wanna pick out that flavor that you don't see very often, but you have a feeling is going to be good. And when I saw pistachio flavored ice cream, I said to myself, I think that's going to be really good. And you know what? It really was. So, if you are not allergic to pistachios and you are partial to the idea of pistachio ice cream, if you have the opportunity to try some, I recommend it. I thought the pistachio ice cream I had was gorgeous. And it was from a brand I hadn't heard before. So when I'm out and about and there's an opportunity for a treat like like ice cream, what I don't like to do is have, you know, store-bought Tesco's ice cream. If there's ice cream on the dessert menu at a restaurant and I feel like this might just be Tesco stuff, I'll pass on it, right? If it's like local made, I'm all up for trying it. And then if it's a brand, there's some brands that I don't really care much for. And one of these ones that I actually quite like, wherever I've gone and had Kelly's ice cream, I've usually enjoyed it a fair amount. And I thought I was ordering Kelly's ice cream, but I was ordering a different brand. And I can't remember the name of it, which is a bit annoying because it was really, really good. And I would be like, if I saw that other brand now, I would definitely give that a try. But yeah, if you're here in the UK, I think Kelly's ice cream is pretty good for one that's distributed up and down the country. Like, it usually plays pretty darn good wherever you have it. I think are actually not capable of getting the timing correct here, maybe. Like, maybe this is, like, resistant to that. What if we put one there instead? It blinked. It blinked. Okay, let's go change this one to 2. Blinked, and now that one won't, will it? So the timing seems to be out by 1 for the amount of these things that we have here, which is kind of lame. And I'm not sure how I want to fix that now. I don't want it to blink, that's for sure. I'll change that one there to 1 tick. There is like one more idea. What if that one's set to 3? Oh! Oh! That's perfect! That's kind of perfect! Okay! How about that? That's like perfect back and forth. The only thing I would say is it's a shame it's not one bulb at a time or one lamp at a time, but it kind of works. I will say the animation is now slow. The animation is now slow. What if we had 2 ticks and everything else was 1? You know, it may take us a long time to get to the answer, but I feel like today we've explored all the questions about this that needed answering, you know? So we'll end up with a good product that we can ship to market. Oh, corporate speak. How delightful, X. Just what I needed in my life. We got Hex Nut Object here for a free stream streak. Thank you for tuning in again, my dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's try and get that timing working with 1 lit at a time, because I think I like that better aesthetically. These ship to market. What? Write down the setup. I maybe should have taken a note, but I feel like I can figure it out again, so. We're still actually getting 3 together. We're not getting 2, are we? Oh, wait, I can't avoid having this because they take 2 ticks. Oh, okay. Oh, well, on that note, okay, so now interesting. The other issue is speed. I thought it looked nicer when it came faster like this. Let's try that 2 tick again. Because I can't. It's almost like that doesn't actually do anything, I think, is the issue. Now, would adding 1 extra tick somewhere over here help? Oh, I think that might. Still get a blink. Okay, what if I went for just 1 more tick? Just 1 more would be nice. This is... oh, so cruel. It's so close to being exactly what we want. Maybe put it there. It's like you have it blink at one end or the other. X, don't pulse the repeaters. Just turn them all on and then all off. On 3 ticks to get single lamps. Interesting. Interesting. Autumn's been cooking. 3 ticks. All on or all off. See, redstone has so many little bits of knowledge, and I've seen this 3 tick thing happen somewhere before. I can't remember where. I think it was in one of Cybot's contraptions. And so, like, little pieces of knowledge. That's 2 at a time, which is obviously better. But you said 1 at a time, so... might it be because I need a repeater before there, Autumn? Oh, yeah, of course. Right, I'm with you. We're not doing that now. We're doing an on-off thing. Which would mean changing the redstone drastically, but redstone is versatile, it is flexible. What am I looking for? A lever? So we go over here and do that. Now we get 1 at a time. Interesting. Okay. So we've got to set them all to 3. And then it'll go all the way out and all the way back. Now, Who's to say the timing will be correct or not? I don't know. It looks like we might have a little bit of wiggle room at the end here. I could possibly take out a repeater here. I have a feeling that might do something of benefit. Yeah, that'll ping it straight back. So we can have it linger on the end or ping straight back. That's interesting. Now, as for this thing, we want to create a flip-flop. I'm just trying to think what's a good silent way to do that. Silent flip-flop would probably be a bulb. It's not actually silent. I've learned that with all the bulbs I've been placing recently. Like, if you want to make silent redstone, great, but bulbs do actually make sounds. I do have comparators, I'll tell you. Okay, we are officially 1 hour and 10 minutes into this, and we haven't even finished figuring out what we're actually going to do. That's how much fun we have with redstone here. We're getting close though. Yeah, we need to change that delay in a big way. And we don't even know what's going to happen next. Like, it could just be a case of like, nope, timing won't work, whatever you do. So that's possibly short, but we'll watch. Yeah, that's too short. I'm gonna put 5 in, just guessing. So I think we've got to wait again. Golden oldie big T flip-flop in an upside down L shape. I got to think for a second. We have the flexibility of adding delay on the left side or removing it. Removing it, I think. No, adding it. So if I make this thing slightly shorter and change that, we might get what we're looking for. But maybe not. It's a fingers crossed scenario. I think we have less tick length flexibility to work with as well. So it waited there for a split second. See what I mean? We are just like so close to having it perfectly timed. Okay, I think what we need is a bit of band-aid on the one over there. I really like this. Oh, the only problem is speed. We've lost speed. We've actually gone slower. Like, this is the thing. You explore different solutions and you forget what you're trying to do. Okay, I'm going to go back to something we did earlier then. Like, I keep forgetting that we're trying to make this fast. Ugh. Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot. I never set up my stream thing, did I? You're right, Jury Duty looks great. I just viewed the first few minutes. Hey, nice. Yeah, give it a go. It's awesome. There's 2 seasons of it. Both seasons are great. Yeah, I hope you love it. I really love it. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is go back to the original design. We're not going to use the T flip-flop because that adds sound. And we're going to try and duct tape the timer over there, because if we can modify its behavior by like 1 tick, I think we can get the timing here to be perfect. So that should be... What are we working with here? Did we have it down so it was fast with... Did we have it like fast with 2 bulbs lit up? I can't remember. That's not going to be any faster. 1 tick is always going to be the fastest. Oh, we've changed something here. We were using an observer, we're not anymore. Yeah, no, it's always going to be 1 tick. I can't remember if we had a design where we had a like a 1-tick speed, but we didn't have 3 lamps at once. In theory, like I think a lamp is on for 2 ticks. So there might be something that you can do to it. Anyways, right, let's really get this thing going. I'm sick of working on it now. It's like, come on, let's finalize it. Alright, we need to take out more blocks. I think I might be making a mistake, actually, with the redstone here. I think we need that observer back. Because that might send a 2-tick pulse through. We're definitely sending through 1 tick, so I think it doesn't matter if the observer's there or not. I'll leave it there, though. Okay, so we're missing an extra repeater up here. Okay, and now we need to remove a little bit of delay and then duct tape this timer. Not sure how many I removed then. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is put 1 less block in here and then modify the timer a little bit. That's what my gut's telling me. Okay, so I kind of want like a little bit of a delay when something changes somewhere. I'm not sure what to do, actually. I also don't have all of my redstone components with me. I think what it might be is like adding a torch and a repeater on the edge. You should probably drink water. I should probably do that too. You did have a good streak going, but then you went away for a couple of weeks. Now it's gone. Like I say, man, the streaks are just numbers. They're there for a little bit of fun, but it ain't always about racking up some numbers. Okay, so I want torches, and then I want slabs and those things. Wow, we're really doing great on the inventory management. Just gotta throw some stuff over here for now. And figure out the rest later. That is looking more manageable. I can breathe again. I can breathe. There's a reason I put that down, because I'm probably going to need some of those. Right. So, this will be a little bit of guesswork. Hopefully, intelligible guesswork. Okay, so that, what's the behavior of that? I think it might need to go to the opposite side. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not actually seeing. I was hoping you could like take a little event and use it as a bit of a delay or something. Maybe I need to do that with an observer, so okay, I'm going to try something that will look really dumb. Oh, and it won't work. Not from there. Not to where I want to get it to. If I didn't... Oh, I don't actually have redstone here. Oh, brilliant. Okay, maybe I can make this work. We're going to go ahead and tack that on. So, does it light that up any sooner? Does it modify the speed there in any way at all? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Oh, it did. But too much? No, weren't we trying to reduce this? Wait, this might mean... If it did make a difference, it might mean that I need to do that. this can get a little bit hairy, because if it doesn't make the difference, it can be hard to tell. I don't think it made the difference. We've got the blink. So we want the blink to be... Oh, actually, no. I'm going to take that out. And we're going to try again. See, that little blink when it holds there needs to be longer. I need a better way of getting like a repeater in here as well, is what I'm thinking. Okay. Maybe these torches might do the trick. Wait a minute. What if I put a torch there? Okay, then block. We're going to need redstone, dust, repeater, and a block again. Shouldn't this turn on? Okay, it turns on exactly when that one turns on. So we're not going to influence it at all this way. If I got it from this side to go across, it might. So I would then need to get rid of that. I need to put wire here now. It might help for a second. I'm going to put it on 2. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that there. And now we're going to see how that affects it. Oh! Oh, it worked. Let's put it on 1. You know what? Our whole clock revolves around hopper timing, which is 2.5 ticks and not anything else. Let's set that to 4 and see what happens. That was... I guess maybe... Yeah. It's too long and it locks it. Wait, is it just locking it permanently now? Oh, dude. All this, I'm just trying to achieve perfection, man. I'm just trying to achieve a little bit of perfection. Anyone else got any ideas on where to add a tiny bit of delay back into the clock? Maybe there, although there's redstone all around it. Maybe I don't want to use this clock. Maybe I build a different type of clock. Maybe I just do one that uses repeaters. And then I get more finite control over it or something, right? Let's try that next. Hey, Powerballs! Thank you for gifting a sub to Alex Sweep. Alex, be sure to say thanks in the chat. You got gifted a sub. How cool is that? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now I'm thinking... put this here, put a torch. That would be there, wouldn't it? Let's move this a couple of blocks further away, because we may need the extra space. We may need a lot of fine control adjustment. Okay, so we got that going on now. Wait, why is this stuck on? Oh, we need 2 ticks. Because of torches. And now that changes something else. Maybe we need 3 ticks. I don't know. Okay, so that's not long enough, but we're hoping with finer controls here we can make it do what we want it to. Babbles, another gifted sub, my dude. Thank you so much for your generosity. Peeps, if you're getting a sub, be sure to say thanks in the chat. That was for... I'm just going to say B4R93RM. I think the second part is Mr., but my brain isn't good with the numbers and the letters. Yeah, thank you for another one, my dude. Appreciate it. Would I consider playing Phasmo again? Absolutely. I didn't really enjoy the Alan Wake one that much, though. It kind of... I felt like there could have been a bit more depth to what was going on, but it was just like walk around and look at stuff. So I didn't really get enticed back into that one. Oh! He does it! He does it! He wins! Redstone victory is ours. Xisuma 2020. It's not 2020. I don't know why I decided it was that year. Xisuma 2020 with the victory lap. Oh my goodness me. We did it, people. We finally did it. We have 1/7 of the Nether Hub done. It only took us 90 minutes. Woo! We won 2020. We won 2020. Xisuma 2020. It's not the year, but we will win. And there you go. Fastest speed back and forth. Perfect timing. And we can replicate that everywhere. And I think doing it this way will actually add a little shine, because you see the light level flickering over the surrounding area here. I also think it's going to look better when we lower these bits like we did in the other area. So let's go ahead and wrap this victory up by making sure that all of what we want to do here is kind of complete looking. And to do that, I will need blocks. And buttons. Wait, how did I do it on the other side? Did I have white buttons? Were they like pale oak? Oh, I went with... Oh, okay. No. We might need to bring back some other buttons, you see. We might need some pale oak buttons to make this work. Okay, right. Well, I'm doing grindy stuff now. That's good. We can go home now, says Baytandernil. You can go home. Correct. You can do the off. If you're so inclined to do so. Let's see. We've got those. It only took 6 years to win. Yeah. 6 years of planning. Back in Season 7, I know. That Season 11 Nether Hub. It's gonna be something. Alright, I need andesite. I need buttons. I might just be working with whatever andesite slabs left. I'm pretty sure I had a box full of slabs of different types and took them back to my base by mistake. And it's a mistake because I need it to, you know, finish all these little empty spaces and stuff. Right, now we're really like showing off this tech. Although you do now see the border there. Is there... Oh, there is a block. There is a block that would hide that, and it's carpet. Carpet would hide that. Let's experiment. Let's experiment. 711 mention? No, it was a 26493 mention. Wrong show, dude. Is it even a show? Is it a record? Wrong format, man. I think that's nicer, even if we break up the andesite. Oh, sorry. Alright. My apologies. Oh, I wasted all that pale oak wood now. Dang it, I always do that. I always end up making a bunch of stuff I don't actually use out of some expensive material. Not that pale oak is expensive, but you know, I gotta farm it up. That's some manual farming right there. Okay. I think we're getting to that point where we can look at this and be like, it's actually done. Can you believe it? There you go. That's one section done. I do feel like maybe this being lowered is actually redundant. I don't feel like it's actually doing anything. It did for the other area, but not for this one. It just feels a bit unnecessary, and the buttons add noise. What about grey carpet instead of buttons? Well, now I'm raising this back up. Yeah, that's the way to do it, I think. That right there. That's gorgeous. Oh! Round of applause. Round of applause for grown man playing Minecraft. You're glad you added some foliage down there. Foliage? Where's the foliage? I do not understand, Force. Oh, this is actually, like, aligned the same. So when we change all of this stuff, we don't have to rip all of it out. Good, 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 good. Ah, noises. Right, I think now would be a great time for us to take a little break from this project and do an LPMT tour. And then when we come back, we'll finish this section. We'll get started on other ones as well. And it's exciting because this is definitely better than it was going to be before I started this stream. Before I started this stream, I was all prepared to do this the way we originally planned to. And this, what we have right here, is better. You added some decor under the glass there, you thought. Oh, right. I do remember one of them had, like, was opened up to the cave. By the way, False, this was something me and Jem planned a long time ago, so I apologize if you had done something with the tinted glass, but, like, the tinted glass was there for me to put my lighting system under. And I remember that one of the areas had, like, some Nether stuff in it, but it kind of looked like it was just, like, stuff from this biome. So maybe I did something there. All good, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry if you went and built some stuff, but we had this planned from the beginning. And as you may have just seen, you probably gathered, it's turned out better than what I was originally going to do. So I'm pretty stoked with where this is going now. Right. As I said, LPMT tour time. One more block. One more block. That's what my brain's saying. That's what my brain's saying. So, peeps, if you have a sub here, do we have a hype train, or are you just using the hype train emote? I don't think we have a hype train. If you are subscribed here, I put them facing the wrong way. I knew something was wrong. If you are subscribed here, if you got an Amazon Prime sub, a gifted, a regular, it gives you access to our Discord community, our Minecraft server. So, you know, that gives you a month of access. So, like, if you just want to give it a try, maybe find a cool community to be a part of, you got nothing to lose. Today, we're going to go check out Jord's mysterious cube. I've heard it's very mysterious. There's a big mystery about it. Right, let's hop onto the server. This is a big work in progress, but here's the backstory. Something creaked through the bedrock, an unknown substance. It started consuming organic matter and spreading. Only obsidian has managed to contain it, but it's finding a way towards the surface. What I like about this already is that you've used a very basic, simple to understand idea about the Minecraft world, which is bedrock. It's there at the bottom, and extrapolated it into like a story. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting a giant underground cube full of crying obsidian and obsidian. This must have been absolutely bonkers to have put. So I think the crying obsidian is like the stuff that's trying to escape, and the obsidian is what's containing it. We got a window over here that actually leads somewhere. I hear water. Is this like a weird in the dark farm? Oh, look at that. There's a mob farm there. And then it probably brings the mobs over here. And then the drops probably, and I know mob farms. What type is it? It's string, spider farm. Sweet. And then I guess another little something of redstone there. And on the opposite side, I'm seeing bamboo. Right here, it's pretty cool. So, I do not know what else of the base there is. Let's head up to the hole at the very top. And it looks like the stuff might be escaping. It's escaping. It's escaping into the overworld, people. We have an infestation of magenta. And now I have conduit power. I have all the power. It's going to go to my head. Does it make its way to the surface? It looks like it. And that's possibly as far as it gets. Oh, hello. Ha! Look at that raptor. What is that even? Like it's got a shell on its back. Oh my goodness me, that's wild. Over here. Storage area. Looks kind of temporary. Collecting some heads, I see. Good stuff. Let's now use spectator mode and see if we've missed anything here. But I really like the concept of using the bedrock. I just think that's so like understandable because you can create like a narrative that, oh, actually below the bedrock there's something there and it's coming into the overworld. That's a really good way to tell a Minecraft story, I think, with your builds. If ever I choose to do something like that in the future, I might just steal that. I might just steal that idea for like if I choose next season to do like, okay, let's try storytelling with builds. That might be a really cool starting point. That might be a really cool starting point. I was leaning towards next season being completely. I wanted to do a completely like isolated. Let's go back on the Hermitcraft to talk about that. I think that's everything we've seen so far. Very cool idea, George. Thanks for letting us tour your base. And I can't wait to see what the infection brings to the overworld. We'll have to come back here again in the future, people. Let's hop back onto Hermitcraft, and I think I might treat myself with a little sitting down because it's hot. I'm actually really surprised how long I've lasted without feeling like I'm actually cooking. Like, we are skipping the heat of the day. It's usually after about 5 o'clock that things really cook up in here, so keeping it going. That was my equivalent of a Patreon server, but as you may have heard, you can get access to it just through here on Twitch by subscribing. There is a cool community of people. We do little tours from now and then. Matsubu is a part of this community. Thank you so much for 89 months, my dude. Appreciate you. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for continuing the support, man. It is a pleasure and a privilege to do this for a living, so I always say thanks, and believe me, I always mean it. I always mean it. It may get a little bit repetitive, but like I do love doing my job. It's almost like I don't have one sometimes. It's weird. It's weird like that. Yeah. So next season, I was thinking I would like to do like I did in season 6 and not have a base and play. There's a word for it and it keeps evading me. Like, I keep coming up with words like nomadic, and it's like, well, that isn't the word, is it? Oh, this is just unbalanced. Okay, I thought I'd made a building mistake here. Nomad, yeah, that's not the term that I used in the past, but basically I didn't have a base and I just built stuff like as part of that main island. So I was leaning towards next season being one, completely unplanned, unstructured going into it. 2, not having a base and living around the place. I don't know what number 3 is. I think that might be too many rules already, right? Wandering? No, I had a word for it. I'm sure I had a word for it. If you have an idea, feel free to throw it in chat. And then I can be like, that was it, or maybe it wasn't. But yeah, there was definitely a word for it that I liked. Gypsy. No, it's not like a person role. It's not like a name for a someone. It was just a word for... I think it was more of like a technical descriptor type word. Like something that you could use in other contexts quite easily. Oh God. There I am staring at some blocks. Like, why is this not working? And then it's like, oh my God, I'm in a hole. I'm possibly about to die. Okay, I like these. Right, vagrant, transient, vagabonds, nomadic, nomads. I'm not seeing what the word is. It would be maybe a word that's closer to something like divided or intermittent or Like, I've got a feeling it's a bit more of a technical thing. Wanderer, unsettled. Did I not do that on season 6? I did, and I called it something. I'm sure of it. I didn't have a base. I was just something. Let's forget it. I always really want to like know the answer to those questions, but weirdo. Thanks. Sporadic, nah. Hey, keep guessing if you want to, but I have a feeling this one might evade us today. It might evade us. Right, so we want glass and maps next. There's some glass. There's some maps. Not enough. Oh, there's already more here. And item frames, I guess. Some of those would be handy, I think. I'll put some lamps back. Oh, and then when it comes to these little redstone supplies... Yeah, I don't think I need quite as many of those right now. Some redstone bits away in here too. Okay. Displaced is a good one. Abstracted, nah. Segmented, like it was something like I have this feeling it was something like that, but different. I don't know. Let's move on. Otherwise, I'm going to bore you all to death. Topic time. Chat, we are now in the part of the stream where I'm basically just copy pasting in survival. What do you want to chat about? Refugee. That's not it either. That's an interesting one, though. Oh, this is all supposed to be a little bit higher here, isn't it? So, yeah, we've got the white wall thing going on, which would be at that height. So we'll put white wall on top of the diorite, but the maps are now a bit higher. So we have to pop these ones off and then put in our glass. Drifter. I like Drifter. Dispersed is a really good one. Dispersed may be the closest yet. Also, if you look at this, we need to put some crying obsidian back. You've ordered some sushi and miso soup. I'm too lazy to cook anything. It's definitely too hot for that. To be fair, like if you're getting it from a good spot, sushi and miso soup, it's going to be some good healthy food. I had some miso soup this morning. It's so damn tasty when you get the authentic stuff. I got some from a Japanese shop yesterday. And I mentioned earlier that in Brighton I got some Japanese cuisine. Mogu Mogu was the name of the place. If you're ever in Brighton, highly recommended. It had a 4.9 on Google Maps. Now, one thing I don't like to do too much is rely on Google Maps, you know, that much. Like, you like a little bit of spontaneity, but if you open it up and look on there and something's a 3.5, you might change your mind. And then when something's like a 4.5, you're like, this is going to be good. But rarely do you see ones with lots of ratings that go as high as like 4.9. And let me tell you this, very small little restaurant, but really, really good cuisine. Having been to Japan and having that as a comparison, I can tell you it's probably as good as you're going to get here in the UK for an equivalent to what you get over there. And I was really impressed and really enjoyed my meal. And yeah, I recommend it. Departed Womble. But yeah, I didn't have any sushi there. Do like sushi. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? I keep coming back here. I keep looking at chat. And then I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What's the name of the restaurant? Mogu Mogu. I don't usually leave ratings on like Google Maps or anything, but I was like quite tempted to for this place. It was just so good. So yeah, highly recommended. Decentralized! AstroKit has it! Dude! You got the word! As soon as I saw it, I knew that was it. Now, I was actually, I think, my mind was going in a bit of a different direction. But decentralized is the word! That's the word that I used. When I played in Season 6, I described it as being decentralized. Well done! Well done, let's have a party. No, seriously, that is actually the word. Decentralized, 100%. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, there it is, decentralized. Dude, did you sit there scratching your head thinking about it for ages? All right, we have our once every now and then. We have a message of the stream, and that was it. It was decentralized. One word. Brilliant. Now, what would be fun if this was a ploy for X2 is using to stop us saying random words? You can say random words if you want. What I would love is a talkie topic if anyone's got something they want me to talk about. Like I said, I'm just in that mindset now where we don't really talk about the project we're doing because we're just policing things over and over again. I mean, I could talk about... I don't know what I could talk about. A movie I watched? I guess I watched that Michael Jackson movie. That was awesome. Best car. One that you can drive. I don't know. I'm not a car person. I could talk about that Michael Jackson movie, though. How many of y'all like Michael Jackson, like his music? Let's make it about the music, because I think, like, when you talk about Michael Jackson, there's obviously a lot around him and who he is that is how can I say it, like, just so much, I don't know, so much that's like a mystery but maybe not, and you know, the rumors, what is, what isn't. There's clearly some aspects of who he is that, you know, is a case of how he was brought up manifesting in his adult life. But, like, how far that stuff goes and not, it's really hard to decipher, I think. Foxinator says shady. See, I don't want to say that, and I don't want to say controversial, because it's really fuzzy to know what's speculation, what's factual, what people have said is true or not, because there isn't a smoking gun about some of the things that have been said about him. It's a lot of, like, take my word for it. And then there's some ways that he dealt with lawsuits that they don't look good, because people often say, like, if you're innocent, you know, you want to prove that in court, right? But it depends on what type of person you are. I can understand someone just like, hey, I've got all this money in the world and I want this to go away. I'm just gonna pay these people off or whatever. Like, I can understand that as well. So, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, I think it's better to take a position of, like, I just don't know. And keep it in mind, because at some point in the future, something might come to light. Someone might discover something, who knows? Or they might never. But, like, let's talk about his music, because his music's incredible. And I talk every now and then about how stuff fades over time, right? Like, nothing lasts forever, and we live in this moment, and we have these amazing experiences as human beings. But, like, the music of Michael Jackson is basically god tier in my mind. It is, like, as much as I love Dimmu Borgir and Meshuggah and all these other types of music, it might be like a childhood thing. It might be like, you know, Michael Jackson was one of the first bits of music I really loved that I was exposed to. But it kind of always comes back to stuff like Thriller and Beat It and Bad and Rock With You. All these songs are just so incredible. Even when he was singing as a kid with the Jackson 5. I mean, even more so when he was singing as a kid with the Jackson 5. And I just get horrified by the idea of, like, there being a young generation of people growing up that will never experience that magic. But then someone can say the same things about stuff from 100 years ago, and I'll be like, whatever, don't care. You know? Like, all these amazing connections that we have and experiences that we have, they fade. They're just like a moment in time for us to really enjoy. And, you know, younger people in the future won't care about it. And watching that movie just reminded me of, like, so many things about his story that's incredible, and that people in the future might, you know, one of the most famous people on this planet of all time might just fade into dust like the rest of us, you know? And he had something truly, truly remarkable and special to offer the world as well. Truly something remarkable and special. So anyway, how many fans have we got? I mean, you can separate the man and the works as player, Rainier. Yeah, you can. I also think if you struggle to, that's okay too. But I think it's important to recognize that you can enjoy the music despite if that stuff happens to be true or not, you know? To me, musical genius, never a copycat. Geniuses often don't fit in what is acceptable in society. Interesting. I don't really think there is like copying in music. I think is a weird term because it's kind of everywhere. Michael Jackson will have his musical influences, especially if you look how he comes out of the sort of Motown soul era into like funk and disco. His first album, a lot of like it stylistically makes a lot of sense, but then with Thriller, that's where he like, you know, has this magical leap. Is this built slightly different here? I think something slightly different in this one. Couldn't tell you what. How dare we use the C chord? What's that? You want to believe artists like MJ and Queen will live forever? Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of music. Like, I listen to weird, obscure indie music that I like what we're listening to right now hasn't touched a lot of people's lives, and I would like to believe that it could, if you know what I mean. But like a lot of stuff will just be lost to time. But I kind of just hope that all of it could survive that, but it won't. Unless like there's some weird future where, I don't know, somehow like all of the world's information is able to be like given to you as an experience. Like imagine that, like a lot of your like love of stuff is like a memory in a way. Like you remember a Michael Jackson song when someone talks about it, and that's how you know that you love it. What if like in the future they could just inject like a memory experience of every type of music ever into you? That'd be so crazy. Like a brain memory transplant or something. Anyway, going all over the place here. That movie really captured, I think, the early part of his life when he was a child so well. The child actor who played him when he was like 8 years old did such an incredible job. And whenever you think of Michael Jackson, like, it's easy to focus on what he did later and forget. But actually, I say it's easy. It's kind of like, I don't know, it just slipped my mind. But like, when he was a kid, he had already won the world's hearts over. Like, people saw him dance and sing as a kid, and it was just like, it's almost like there was a fully lived person expressing themselves through the music in there. Like, that's the way he sung and danced. And his voice at such a young age was just so unlike. You know, it was almost like he was a great soul singer, but he was also 10. It was just so unseen before, and such a sign of like a child prodigy. But then he grew up and he manifested, you know, he became one of the greats of all time. You remember X doing the MJ he Shamon, brother? What, all of that? You kind of think that memory sharing is inevitable for sure. I think it's inevitable that people will want to do that, like share experiences so that someone else could know like what it is to experience that. Because the weird thing about experiences is that it's remembering them that is like a huge part of it. Like the way you remember holidays. Like, imagine remembering something that you didn't actually do. It seems a little crazy, but like, when you remember stuff, you're not in the moment doing it. You're casting your mind back. And however it feels in that moment, if a implanted memory could give you that feeling, then who's to say it wouldn't work, you know what I mean? So we do have something a little odd going on over here. I want to kind of check this out and see if we can make sense of it. You nailed the hee-hee, thanks. Hee-hee. And that's the other thing in that movie. Like, the noises he makes when he sings, they sort of show that coming out of him as a kid. Like, you don't know how accurate some of these scenes are. It seems to be, like, based on the production credits, I think it's his family around him that made this movie. And so it's told from their perspective. And so maybe those are things they remember of him when he was in the studio as a kid. But when those noises come out of him and you hear him do it in the music, it's lovely because it's so like energetic and primitive in a way. Like, he just lets it out of him. And like, who else sung like that before? There's probably some examples, but you know, he just goes to another level. Can you moonwalk is the main question. I did learn to do what would be a passable moonwalk at one point in my life because I had a friend who showed me how to do it and I practiced it a lot for a while. I love seeing people dance to like Michael Jackson. I was never one of those kids that like got up and danced, but like seeing people that can do all the Michael Jackson moves, I always love that. That's super cool. We got noises in the ear. We got I'm That Smells 7 here with the Prime. Appreciate you coming in for 2 months. We got Philly Bowhunter here with the Prime as well. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate your support. I think people like James Brown were already letting out those primitive sounds. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, it's like, this is what I was saying earlier about copying. It's nothing's truly unique. There's always something that comes before it. There'll always be like a sound or an artist or an influence. Like, I was listening to the radio traveling somewhere some time ago. I don't know why, like, I remember this, but it's musical related, so that's probably why. This song came on, and it was from like the mid 80s, and it just stunk of MJ. And I can't remember who did it, but like, you could just hear the archetype of his style of writing and the sounds that he was using. And like, when it said who the artist was, I remember thinking, so that would have been like, you know, 1986 or whatever. And it was just like, you could feel how another artist's music opened up this vocabulary to work with, and someone else stepped into it and like created a song with that template. That happens so much in music. But like, sometimes it's too close to the original that you feel that. And then if you can get enough secret sauce in there, like your own sort of influences and ideas that come from other places, it feels more unique. And every now and then you get someone who does things with ideas that are just so far ahead of the curve, it feels like really original. I counted 13 over there. Here we got 3, 6, 7, 9, 12, 13 as well. So something's like slightly different there, but we're just going to let it be. Don't need to mess around with it or anything, do we? Anyway, I think what I want to say most is that, like, if you are not a Michael Jackson fan and you are like young and you've never really been exposed to his music, do yourself a favor and like go listen to the Thriller album, go listen to Off the Wall, listen to Bad. Dangerous I never got into too much. There's some good songs on it though. I really love History. History was the first Michael Jackson album that I got, bar a Jackson 5 one, like one of his greatest hits. And you got to go listen to the Jackson 5, right? Like, they have some beautiful songs too. You have 3 MJ CDs, says Alex Sweep. I think I've got like all the main albums on CD. Like, I have some from when I was a kid, and then slowly over time I like accumulated the rest of them. Blood on the Dance Floor I don't have. That was like a remix album thing that I never got. I have listened to it though. But History was like my first. That was like my generation's Michael Jackson record, and I loved that the second half of it was a greatest hits, because that kind of like brought you into more of his music. And then Thriller, you know, Thriller was in the house. When I was a kid, probably every house had a copy of Thriller in it. So like, you would hear that before long. Thriller was the album you and your friends jammed to. That must have been one heck of a time to be around. Like, that album was absolute fever pitch. And like the other thing is like people don't understand how massive of a figure he was in society as well. One of the most recognizable people on the planet. Like, and if you watch that Michael movie, you can understand because they show his personality and some of the things that he did that other people of his stature wouldn't do, and you can kind of see how there's like a mythos around him, but you just wouldn't know about it, and like unless you grew up with it. That's the thing I think I'm trying to get at, is like there's a mythos around this guy and the hysteria around him that unless you grew up with part of it, you probably would listen to his music and not understand that there was this like air of magic around him at the time as well. Not just a case of like the music is where the story ends. Your wife was lucky to see the Thriller tour in person. That is something awesome. That was magical. I possibly could have seen a Michael Jackson show when I was a kid. Like, I was old enough to go, and he was doing his last like rounds of tours, but like my parents never thought about it. I don't even think. I probably never asked to either. I was just probably a bit too young to sort of realize, oh, live concerts are a thing you can go to, you know what I mean? Your dad will always mention how he saw MJ live. You should another thing you should do is maybe go look up some of MJ's live shows and just pay attention to the hysteria that happens, because like there's a show where like the crowd are just screaming. It's so loud, the noise. You will never hear a crowd scream like they do at a Michael Jackson concert. The roar is so loud. They cannot believe they're gonna see like this guy was like basically not human to a lot of people. He was just like a god, and there's this just unbelievable noise, and then all of a sudden, bang, big flash of light, fireworks go off. Out of the ground, out of the stage, Michael Jackson just shoots 10 feet up into the air, lands on his feet, and stands dead still. And the roar just goes to another level of decibels. Like, people do not stop screaming. And like 2-3 minutes go by, and he still stood there like a statue. And like slowly the volumes come down a little bit, and he just swings his head to the other side, and they just go wild again. It's so cool. Like, it'll give you goosebumps watching it. It's just so crazy. And then like eventually they get into the song, and he's doing all his dancing and singing. Like, remember, his dancing was phenomenal as well. If you've never seen him perform Billie Jean at the there's like a music award thing, and he does the Billie Jean dance like, and he's got the crowd there on their feet front to back before he even pulls off this string of moons, which includes the moonwalk. So good. So good. And like the movie like gave you a lot of those moments. Like, I forgot that Beat It was done with members of the Crips and the Bloods, the gangs in LA, and it shows you how he like brought them together and his attitude and how his presence around people really changed them. And these, like, I really think there's like so many more stories this movie could have put like that into it. It's only 2 hours long. I think the first half of the movie had such a great pace when he was a kid, but it had to like jump around through time a little bit. And then the later half of the movie, you can kind of feel how it jumps around a bit. And I wish maybe it had taken its more time. Like, it could have been like a 2.5-3 hour movie. There's so much depth to this guy and his impact on the world, you know? MJ and Freddie Mercury were basically gods. Yeah, Freddie's right up there as well, really, isn't he? I would always put MJ before Freddie. But like, Freddie was a real incredible talent too. But MJ just had that like extra level of like mystery and mystique around him. In the past, music had been the thing that saved me. I'm forever grateful for music, says Alex Sweep. Dude, I resonate with that so much. I feel like it's always saving me sometimes. It's like an anchor to get through life. But yeah, for anyone out there who's not giving MJ some time, give him some time. Listen to Thriller, listen to Bad, listen to Off the Wall, and if you like it, go learn more about him. Watch some documentaries and stuff. Like, dude was really fascinating and bizarre too. Like, bizarre in some ways as well. Like, one moment in the movie I loved that I forgot was that he used to go to kids' wards where they were sick and hang out with them. And there are, like, pictures of him doing this, but it was always sort of known that he didn't do it for publicity. And people actually understood that, you know? These days, if you went and did something like that, someone would accuse you of doing it for clout or whatever. But, like, the movie did a great job of showing his genuine compassion for kids and wanting to spend time with sick kids and make them feel better. And like, I've forgotten that, you know, there's things you forget over time when you think of someone. Like, you tend to remember like a bunch of the last things that you learned about them, as well as like all those memories of the music too. And yeah, so I like the fact that the movie kind of gave me a bit of like a reminder, a refresher on the guy. They did censor the movie quite a bit. In what way? I didn't really think of it in terms of censorship. I thought of it in terms of this story is told from the perspective of his family. I think I know what we might be talking about. Frickin' Nerd says, what do you think about the allegations of the bad stuff he might have done? I am not accusing him, I just wonder what you think of the claims. I have spent time on both sides, but when I say both sides, what I mean is I've listened, like, I am very aware I love his music, and I definitely don't want this stuff about him to be true. But I've listened to things from both sides, people defending him, people accusing him. And it just, to me, my takeaway is that it feels like there's so much he says, she said around this. And he's clearly a guy with some issues related to his childhood that has manifested into behaviors that we would say are unacceptable for some adults. Sometimes he gets away with it because he's Michael Jackson, and in his heart it might all actually be innocent. But and on the case of settling out of the court, right, remember how incredibly wealthy he is. I don't think you can always say settling out of court means you're innocent or you're guilty. It's really just a case-by-case thing, and a lot of the time I think unless you're like really close to the situation and in the weeds, you're probably not going to have a great take on what way it is. And for me, I don't think him settling out of court means he did something wrong and he's trying to make it go away. I think it could also mean he just doesn't have the time or energy for it and wants it to go away. And the kind of decisions that he's made for it is like he's a very impulsive buyer. His relationship to money was just that he would spend. Like, that was just his life. I think it's hard to like imagine that he would have a solid anchor on how to make decisions around things like that in his life. I think he would probably just go whatever he was thinking in that moment. So I take a very sort of like, we don't know, we do know. I remember watching that documentary that came out a couple of years ago with those accusers that made very graphic descriptions of like what they were accusing, and that, like, I watched that and I couldn't sit there and go, oh, I've got a great lie detector and these guys are lying. Like, I don't like it when people online are shouting, oh, you can tell they're lying or something. It's like, hey, I'm not a human lie detector, and there's always someone who's going to pop up and tell you that they are. You know, those people seem sincere. Sometimes people can seem sincere and have ulterior motives. My point is, like, until someone pulls out the smoking gun, like there's a video they found or something, it's just going to be one of those things, I think, where you'll never know. And I think you've got to be okay with that, really. I think if you push yourself into making up your mind over something like this, you're probably, well, I don't know if you're likely to be wrong or right. It just feels like there isn't concrete evidence there, you know? You can barely tell when someone is being sarcastic. For sure, I wouldn't know if someone's lying. I have that problem too, my dude. As someone who loves sarcasm, it goes over my head a lot. And I'm fine with that. That's just me. That's how my brain works. Fair enough. So, yeah, that's another thing I've noticed. There's a lot of people who say, like, oh, you know, like, if you want to read someone's body language and look, they're touching their eye, they're lying. That's a sign of lying. Like, sometimes you touch your eye because it itches. Like, I don't like all this internet psychologist stuff, especially when it comes from someone who isn't even, like, in that field, you know? And they're just telling you that they're a lie detector and, you know, we're talking about this thing and this person and trust me, bro, they're lying kind of thing. Well, why can't we elevate our own ignorances a bit more and be okay with the fact we don't have an answer for everything? And that's it. Like, I don't have an answer for MJ, really, but I can separate all of that and I can absolutely adore the music that he made till its fullest, which I will continue to do. Body language stuff is a scam and no one can tell me otherwise, says Angry Redstone. Here's the... Okay, I might sound really flippant now, but, like, I've heard people say that as well, and then I ask myself, you know, like, they'll say the science says that the body language stuff is a scam. But that's the same reason, that's the same problem I had with the other thing, which was like someone saying the science says you touch your eye, it means you're lying or whatever. It's like, I want someone to really be in the weeds of something when they're telling me that, if that makes sense. Like, you want that to come from someone that has really done the work to find out a more accurate answer. And the answer probably won't be black and white. It will probably be like, there are some techniques that seem to be able to read body language better than not using these techniques. That's probably more of a reasonable thing. But you tend to get black and white answers, like someone will tell you there's just a method for knowing and you can 100% tell. It's like, that to me, when it's like full on, that's a sign to me that it's probably not the case, but I'm not in the weeds of it. So, and in order to have opinions on this stuff, we always have to put like a lot of faith and trust into other people, and we should remember that. We should remember, hey, you're watching some talking head on YouTube go on about some hot topic, and look, we can tell this person's lying. Look at their body language. You know, look, they're sweating. They keep adjusting their neck. It's like, maybe it was hot in that room. They keep drinking that water. Maybe they were dehydrated. I don't know, but like, do you get what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So, I'm like this with a lot of topics. I'm like skeptical and keeping myself like away from having a solid opinion. Look at that. That's definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, so much better than what we had before. No doubt about it. And it took us 2 hours to get there. And we have to go and redo this one and redo that one, and I don't care because we got to the end result that is so much better than what we had before. So, job well done. Job well done. I'm trying to change. I used to be Mr. Productivity, and I'm trying to remind myself that doing a job well is sometimes better than getting it done fast, and that's what we did today. By the way, if you want to check out my music is on the screen. Soulside Eclipse. Go look it up on YouTube or Spotify. Got nothing new for you at the moment, but maybe one day. I'm still, at the moment, trying to level up my my kind of understanding of how to compose music and stuff. So, hopefully it leads to something new in the future, but yeah. You can only assume Cubs work on West Tunnel, Best Tunnel motivated me to do this. This was planned before maybe before the season started. I can't remember. Whenever Gem said she was taking on the Nether Hub, that's when this was planned. I can't remember if that was pre-season or not. But anyway, I'm wrapping up my stream. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thanks for all the peeps who are just here hanging out. You're all appreciated. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to LPMT community. I enjoyed popping on and seeing George's build today. Got an interesting idea from that one. And I'll be back again 2 days' time on Wednesday. I'm going to stream next unless something changes, which it usually does. So we'll see what happens. But enjoy the raid. Going to send you over to Tanisha, and I'm going to bounce. So have a great rest of your day. And stay out of the sun. It's hot out there. Make sure you drink lots of water. Bye-bye, people. Take care.